Yes.
Yep. Good.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Thank you very much. My name is Anil Bayir.
Yeah, my name is İshak Kıraç. Hello again.
Wow, great to see so many people here. Actually, we were not expecting this many audience. But we were just asking ourselves if how many people were going to be in the audience room for our presentation.
5 or 6.
That's what we were. You're not here because you missed your flight, are you?
Oh, the other rooms are the full. Yeah.
All right. Whatever it is, the reason you are here, thank you very much for being here. And also thank you for all those who are watching us online today.
Hey.
Hi, Mom. Yes, I have had my breakfast.
Good, me too.
And we are actually the survivors of IATEFL because this is the 5th day and we're still attending. So can you please raise your right hand? Raise your right hand, please, everybody. Raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. And I think we need to congratulate ourselves now. Please go back like this and good job. Good job now. Okay, today İshak and I will be talking about Oracy skills and how we can contextualize Oracy skills in the 21st century. And we will be taking in turns. And now, İshak, please.
Thank you, bro. Okay, when we look at the contents in generally, we can start with 21st century in education and what were the skills of that. And it's really important for teachers, for us, because we need to receive, we need to deliver our students to the future. And after that, we're going to start with the contents of Oracy skills, concept of Oracy skills, and we're going to find how do we implement Oracy skills in the classrooms. And what are the activities? What kind of activities should we do to improve these skills? And the last one, we're going to start with some examples of the performance tasks that you can use in your classrooms generally. Okay, let's start with the 21st century in education. There are so many skills that we can find in the literature, but generally just Mercy et al. in 2017, they are mentioned of problem-solving skills, communication skills, and the customer-related skills that need to sell something to somebody and convince the people. So it's really important for teachers because these are our objective to change the behavior in our classrooms. Also, this is about the employers because our students needs to have future time perspective after the school. When we look at the NACE results of top 10 skills of employees want from their staff, it starts with ability to work in team structure. But there are some missing. Could you please talk to the person next to you and try to find what are these missing titles and the skills? Are you ready? Yeah. In 1 minute, please. We are all done? Good. Can I have some example from audience? Creative thinking?
We had problem solving.
Problem solving? Thank you. Critical thinking? Thank you. Making decisions? Good. Communication skills as an English teacher? Yeah. It's really important because the communication is everywhere for these all skills too.
Ability to see the different perspectives, directions.
Ah. ability to see different perception of the directions,
Perspective.
perspective and the direction. Thank you, thank you. So when we look at these three, they're all really true, because this is what our employers want in general, and what we need to give our students as a skill during the instruction and out of the school too. So it's really important to have these kind of abilities in 21st century, because as John Dewey said, schools aren't the place to take our students for, prepare our students for the future. The school is the place, life itself. So if we think all these skills, we can understand that our students shouldn't be passive receivers. Our students should be the active participants of the activities. Because if, in education, if you want to change something, yes, we need to change or we need to add some knowledge, but the main point is changing behavior. So when we just focusing on that one, we can understand we need to have some life skills. So when we combine these all, we need to focus on life skills framework or life skills in our lessons. Can you just guess one of these skills?
Communication.
Please. Yes, we are right. What's the second one? More communication? No. Collaboration. Self-learning. Creativity. Lifelong learning. Learning to learn.
Yes, learning to learn.
Thank you. Social responsibility. Thank you. Yes, Anil? Okay. All right, let's see what we have in our pocket. Creative thinking, critical thinking, learning to learn, collaboration, and social responsibilities. These are the main point of that we can design, or that we should design our instruction, and that we manipulate our lesson. So, but it's really important to cover all these things in the concept of Oracy.
Thank you very much for handing over. Now let's take speaking of concepts of Oracy skills, let's take a look at those Oracy skills. But before I give it a go, what? Yeah. Did Mona Lisa or does Mona Lisa have eyebrows?
One side is yes.
Any idea? Do you want to check out from your phones? No, she doesn't. Yes, no, she doesn't have eyebrows. Actually, not only Mona Lisa, but neither of none of the women at that time had eyebrows in that vicinity, in that area, according to the literature and history. But why not? Why not? Why didn't women have eyebrows? Yes, yes, ma'am. Okay, all right. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Fashionable, exactly. That was what fashion. It was fashionable at that time. I mean, if women wanted to look beautiful, attractive, they basically shaved their eyebrows. Can you imagine doing that nowadays? I think that would be a little unusual. And actually, I kind of did it for myself, doing it like this. So it wouldn't be very, I don't know, appropriate.
Perfect Photoshop skills.
Thank you very much. Lisa. Yeah, perfect Photoshop skills.
Yeah.
So let that Mona Lisa eyebrow be a metaphor for us, how actually the concept of education has been changing and in the 21st century skills. So let's bring it down to this question. What is Oracy? Now I'm going to show you a video in a minute. In this video, we are going to watch the practices and procedures implemented in a school named School 21. Although we are aware School 21 is English first language speakers and English as a foreign second language speakers, we will be taking the procedures and practices out of that concept and apply it into our own concept now.
Put your hand up if someone in your family comes from somewhere else in the world and has come to live in London. Could you turn to the person next to you and have a discussion about this talking point?
I think by you. What do you mean by like against?
Oracy is the keystone to everything that happens in the curriculum. There are such high expectations for talk, and it does really make a difference in the children how articulate and how confident they are.
The vision of School 21 is to prepare young people for the world that they're going to go into in the 21st century. I think one of the biggest barriers to the students we serve really getting on in life is lack of good communication skills. We need to elevate speaking to the same level as reading and writing.
So we have a vote.
What makes me enjoy talking the most is that everybody's listening to you and you're like part of the world and you feel respected and important.
When I'm talking, they're listening what I'm saying, and sometimes they give me questions, or maybe I give them questions.
Every child within this school is expected to speak in every lesson, in every opportunity throughout their school day, and we try and create lots of different contexts for young people to hone their skills as speakers.
So coming back to my question, what is Oracy? Now, I am actually going to start the definition from a little past literature. Russian psychologist Lev Vygotsky basically puts forward that via speaking, we actually think and make sense of our world. And we use speaking to communicate, and we use speaking to shape our thinking. So here is actually the diagram for you to imagine. The way we think shapes our speaking. And in return, the way we speak shapes our thinking. And this is an impactful circle. And with this, we actually inflict impact, positive impact in our community and a larger society, which subsequently later on comes back to affect us all over again. A modern definition. Proficiency in oral expression and comprehension is what oracy is. Well, actually, the term was first used by Andrew Wilkinson in 1960s, a British educator and a researcher. Let's take a look at a more modern, a more contemporary definition of it. It is basically just like you saw in the video, children discussing ideas and opinions, trying to compromise, trying to reach an agreement by using the data they are given and by asking each other meaningful questions, actively listening to each other. Now, just like Ishak actually mentioned in his opening slide, whether we raise our kids for the workforce or for their own whole child development, it is actually how we as teachers instruct our students and put more meaningful guidance in how we organize their speaking and their speaking environment. Here's a typical situation that I used to come up against in my classes. And here's a typical situation that you would see in a typical Oracy class. But what do you see these students doing? What are they doing? Giving presentations, what else? Sharing. Thank you very much, what else? Listening to each other. Yes, but of course all of these ideas are actually, in Oracy skills, are categorized in four categories, and we call it Oracy toolkit. Now let's take a look at it. In our Oracy toolkit, the first one that I'm going to be taking a look at, voice projection, eye contact, body language. What would the title for this be, in your opinion? Which one? Okay, it's a physical. Okay, vocabulary, grammar, and style. Linguistic, thank you very much. Organization of content, audience level, reasoning. Thank you very much. And talk management and confidence. That would be social emotional, yes. So basically, when we take a look at the picture again, it actually makes sense when we integrate the Oracy toolkits to these pictures and the procedures and the practices that we have in our classes. But how do we implement? Let's get into the details a little bit.
Thank you. So when we go on with the classroom of the activities of Oracy, we can just, I came across a Professor Christine when I'm just having research on that, and she is really have good examples of the Oracy in their titles and their researches, because she has skills after 30 years of these with his own instruction. And he says she realized that in class skits, in debates, and in the concerts, her students are really engaged and motivated while they have this kind of activities in and outside the classrooms. So she realized her students have an ability to self-regulation and have an ability of delay gratification and self-efficacy, because when they have this kind of activities, students understand and feel themselves really engaged and motivated because they understand they can do. So it's really important to prepare themselves, because they're going to see audience, they need to prepare their voice, they need to prepare their presentations, negotiation, and etc. So it needs a preparation period for the students. When we go on with an activity of a classroom, there's one question, the second one, the B one. How do you know if someone is listening actively? How do you understand that when you have a debate or a conversation with somebody?
Have you been listening to us actively?
Yeah. Respond and ask a question. What else? Eye contact. Body language. Face expressions. Gestures and mimes. These are the all key issues that you can have, how you understand, or the active listening. So this is just for primary school, maybe you can think, but this is the beginning of the Oracy skills. But could you please have, the first of all, that one. When you just have this kind of activity, you can understand your partner was looking at you or not. This is just the checking tool of the Oracy. So you can understand whether they look at you or not all the time, sometimes or never. Or your partner asks you a question, yes or no. So these are the sample activity of Oracy that you can use in your classroom with changing the topics and activities. But it's really important because our teachers should have an Oracy skills to teach Oracy, right? If we know these skills, if you have an ability or skill like that as a teacher, we need to assess our students after these activities. So the assessment is really important to check our Oracy. In Oracy Toolkit, we have 3 types of assessment. The first one is peer assessment, which is really important for the students too, because the peer assessment is a natural side of Oracy. There is a communication too. And self-assessment, because of students should have a self-regulation skills during this period. And the self-efficacy belief. If it is higher, the academic success is going to be higher too. The last one is teacher-led assessment that teacher can use with the checklist or the record stage of achievement or observations of the videos during the classroom and during the activities or after the activities. Now we're going to have a performance task with Oracy, and how can we implement Oracy with a task or some task that you can use in your classrooms?
Isak and I actually brought together a series of tests that we are actually going to do right now today, okay? Are you ready? Okay, let's do it together. Some of the ideas that you see over here is that we actually extracted from the Oracy skills based titles and materials. Some of them we wrote together. So let's see how it goes. The first one, before we start getting into that, we are actually talking about 3 types of performance tasks in our Oracy classes. The first one is going to be, in a typical Oracy class, the first one is about presentation and presentational skills. The second one is, in groups, students, learners work collaboratively to reach an answer, a conclusion, a solution to a problem. And the last one would be one person dictating and talking and directing the other person in pair work, exercises or procedures. But before we give it a go, do you remember the toolkit? We had 4 categories for them. Do you remember them? It's the first one would be the physical, the second one would be linguistic, the third cognitive, and the last social. Okay, thank you very much. Have you seen this presentation before? Because you just, I feel like a rock star. You're just going over my words. Thank you. Okay, yes. Physical, linguistic, cognitive, social, and emotional. You see, actually these are the sub-skills that are related to R are actually more than that I just showed you. So they have got more details and more elaborative perspectives into them, but I'm not going to get into that. So whatever task we do, I just want you to pay attention to your behaviors, physical behaviors, eye contact and all, your choice of words, the cognitive skills, the way you interact and communicate, and your social and emotional interaction with your partner or your groups, okay? All right, without further ado, the first one. Now, this is an individual question. Which of these would you choose and deliver a presentation about right now? Of course, you're not going to be delivering a presentation, but which one would you pick? Your favorite place to eat food? Because you're getting a bit hungry, maybe? No? Okay. Yeah. Any other opinions? Anyone who would go with the second one? Okay. A gift that you have given or received recently? Okay. Anyone? The third, a song that you would remember. Sir, and what song would that be? No, I don't want you to sing. I don't want, maybe I would, but...
No one's going to know it. It's a song about Mexico that we learned at primary school.
Yeah?
We had to sing in class.
Okay.
And we learned this song somewhere in Peru.
Uh-huh.
Peru, not Mexico.
Okay. And were you learning Spanish at that time?
No,
or?
no, we weren't.
It was just... Anyone else in the other? Some I saw. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, well, a song from my childhood, like basically one of my favorite songs from my favorite teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last one, a photo that you remember and that means a lot to you. You see, all the tasks actually presented over here are actually not only like on the surface, but it kind of connects with an emotional side of it and of you to present, so you can actually personalize it. All right. Now, I need you to get into groups of 4 or 5. Can you? No? Or at least you can speak to the person sitting next to you. But this is a group activity, basically. We need more than 2 people. That's actually the main point of it, okay? All right, thank you. Now, here we go. Here are the instructions. I am going to show you a text. Yeah. And in this text, you will be using the data, and you will be listening to each other, asking each other questions, and you will be reaching an answer, okay? If you know this question or if you've seen it flow, please let your friends and your teammates actually work together, okay? You might want to help out them, but just don't give out the answer right away, okay? Here we go. By the way, this is not a tricky question. In a village, women tell lies on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Men tell lies on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. On Sundays, nobody tells lies. Woman says, I told a lie to you yesterday. And man says, me too. So on which day of the week does this conversation take place? Go. 1 minute, and after that I will be collecting your answers. Thank you very much. Okay, I think your arguments, your discussions, thank you very much for not fighting, should be actually finalized by now. Okay, when I say it, everybody is going to shout out the answer all together. Okay? 3, 2, 1, say it. Thursday, thank you very much. Anybody who says Sunday, still says Sunday. If men are involved and lying, yeah, it could be any day. I would agree, but yeah, in a utopian village. All right. Now, this is an example of the second performance task group working collaboratively and reach an agreement in our Oracy skills, basically framework. And for example, another example that we picked out from our book would be, it's not very eligible, you can't read it, but basically you know that you will be stranded on ice and in cold for some time. What would 5 objects that you would take with you? Okay, a question like that. What was that? 3 minutes. Thank you. Okay. And the last task that basically we'll be doing together, I want you to again get together with a partner. A partner. One person will be drawing, the other person will be speaking. Okay? If you are the drawer, please raise your hand. Who are the drawers? Yes, CCQs right now. Who is drawing? Who is speaking? Drawers, drawers. Okay? Thank you very much. This actually does work best if you turn your back to your partner and you just listen to your partner. Okay, for those who would like to take part, I'm just changing the slide so you can. So basically, one of you will be describing your favorite room. Okay, what furniture is where, okay, in your room, and the other one is basically drawing. Okay, we've still got 1 more minute to go. Do you want to do it? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
And I need some pillows on my window.
There's a good sofa. Yes.
Yeah.
Here? Yes. The whole wall?
Anybody who has Steven Gerrard poster in the room? No? All right. Okay, thank you very much. Can you please show your drawing to your partner? I know this would take longer, but can you please check if it is whatever that you thought it would be? Any clues?
Yeah, I think somebody's drawing the house.
All right. So thank you very much. Let's recap of the session that Isak and I presented. First, we started out by talking about 21st century and education and
the life skills.
And the life skills. And then we went into the concepts of Oracy and eyebrows of Mona Lisa.
I mean, to try to just give some examples that you can use in classrooms.
And how we implement Oracy in class was the third section of our presentation. And in the end, we wanted to close out with the performance tasks with Oracy. So actually, I would like to leave you with stating that thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This is Anil Bayir and
Isak Raj. Thank you very much for your participation and attention.
Thank you.
And especially for your active listening.